Greetings and welcome to another Sinful Needs tutorial video. This video for the A4 HUD will walk you through the process of setting up your 1.05 HUD to automatically transfer your animations from your AO and your CHIM. Now when you receive your Alchemy 4 HUD 2.0 package and unpack it, you'll receive a folder that looks something like this in your inventory. And it will contain all of the usual goodies. It'll have the HUD, it'll have some textures and some note cards. It'll include the free horns and fangs that come with it, and ZAO2 note card converter in case you have an old ZAO AO that you want to move into your new HUD. The landmarks for the main store and the satellite, and then most importantly for this video, it'll include 2 scripts. Both of these inventory transfer scripts are going to be loaded into your old HUD so that they will be able to respond to the automated transfer request from your new HUD. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is detach your old HUD and res it on the ground. Make sure that wherever you're resing, you have permission to run scripts and you have room to res about 85 prims. That way you'll have room for both of the HUDs. Right click and edit your old HUD. You'll have the root prim selected by default, which is where you're going to want to transfer the inventory transfer script. So grab that out of your inventory folder. This is the A4 inventory transfer 105 script, and drag it into the root prim of your old HUD. It's going to take just a moment for it to refresh the contents and show you that it's in there, because you've got all those animations and everything in there. And there we go, A4 inventory transfer 105. Now you're going to click edit linked parts and select the sphere on the back, which is of course of your CHIM. You're going to grab the A4 CHIM transfer script and put that in there. Again, give it a moment to refresh the view and show you that it's there. Then you can close your edit window. Now you're going to res your Alchemy 4 HUD 2.0 in the vicinity of your old HUD. Before you get into the menu, pay attention to what's going on with the HUD. You're going to see that the CHIM is loading the default note card. The first time you res your HUD, you're going to see it loading the textures and then the classes and then the attachments, and eventually the HUD will say Alchemy 4 2.0 ready. Wait for your CHIM to finish and wait for the HUD ready message so that the HUD is not busy doing something else when you decide to try and transfer the inventory. Otherwise, all of those actions are going to get clogged up in the queue and it'll take longer than it should, and you run the potential of possibly missing animations or note cards. So now that the HUDs are both ready to go, you can go ahead and click transfer. Now it'll tell you right here that there are a few things you need to make sure of before you commit to this. Make sure both HUDs are resed on the ground, because if you're wearing an object, you do not have permission to put animations in and take animations out, which if you're using no copy animations could result in animations being lost. So be especially careful of that. Additionally, make sure that you have picked up your delivery crate for your 2.0 HUD, because the CHIM transfer and inventory transfer scripts in that HUD crate are active, and you don't want to accidentally transfer the contents of that crate into your HUD, because that's just a bunch of junk assets sitting in there taking up resources that don't need to be. Now you're going to go ahead and click transfer, and you'll get some communications. The new HUD will tell you it's requesting information from the old HUD. The old HUD and CHIM will say the new HUD's been identified, and both prims will tell you how many inventory items were tagged for transfer. In this case, there were 13 tagged by the CHIM and 71 tagged by the AO. And the CHIM is already done sending those 13 animations, so that's finished. Now it's going to take a moment for any transfer to come out of the root prim of the HUD, because there are several active scripts running in there. So give it a moment to do its thing, and as it starts to transfer those, it will start giving you a count by 20s as to how many animations have been transferred. There's 20. There's 40. 60. 71, and in this case that's complete. If you have a lot of animations, it could take a minute or two to transfer them over. Make sure you give the HUDs time to do the transfer, because if you interrupt the transfer by picking up one of the HUDs, you run the potential of losing any no copy animations that are being processed. And even if you don't have no copy animations, if you stop things halfway through and then try to start it again later, anything that's already been transferred over is going to get duplicated. And you're going to wind up with a bunch of extra animations in your new HUD that you don't need, just taking up resources. Okay, now we're all done with these, so we can go ahead and exit out of this window. And there are 3 note cards that don't get transferred automatically, and they are the default note card in the AO, a Cineract note card, which your old HUD right now, it doesn't have one, so that's not even important, but the Cineract note card could contain custom information that you may not want to overwrite in the new HUD. Just like the config note card from your old dance HUD could contain custom information that you may not necessarily want to write onto the new one. So if you do want to copy your configuration card from your old HUD, you just edit your HUD and go back into the CHIM. And you probably just want to drag this out and save it so that you can easily drop it into your new HUD later. Or you could go ahead and right-click into it, double-click into it rather, and copy the contents out of it. And then go to your new HUD and open the new config card and paste it in there. Now, the new configuration card supports 8 dance groups, so if you do just paste all the old group information over it, just remember that that's only groups A through D. You may want to leave E through H intact to remind you that there are 8 more dance groups. For that matter, you may want to take a moment afterwards and redistribute some of those dances, right, and create some of the new dance groups. Additionally, you'll see up here a note that tells you that you can now specify custom dance times for each dance. And you do that just like this shows right here. After the name of a dance, you just put a colon and then a dance duration in seconds. That way, when it goes from dance to dance, if you have the animation time set to the actual length of the animation, they'll go together in a relatively seamless stream rather than just cutting out in the middle of an animation and starting the next one. That's a feature that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy in the dance HUD. Okay, with all of that done, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to take this old HUD back into inventory, and it's a good idea to hang on to it at least until you're sure your new HUD is working properly. And then we're going to go ahead and take the new HUD into inventory. Once the new HUD's in inventory, you're going to wear that. And you'll see that the CHIM starts reading in its configuration note card again. And since we're loading up a default note card, when it gets to the end of that, it's going to read us off the names of all the animations that we just loaded into it and say that those have been added as unlisted animations. Naturally, if you have your note card configured to include those in groups, you'll see a different message. Now you're going to want to choose a note card to load for your AO. So just click the disk on the AO panel and choose one to load, and it'll load up. Now I loaded the default note card because I don't have any of these note cards configured properly right now. But for illustrative purposes, you just want to load your note card up. And once it's done, you're all set. That's it. You've now successfully transferred all of your old animations into your new HUD. You've successfully transferred any texture packs that you had installed. If you did have texture packs installed, you'll also need to go through the HUD menu, click the round badge, and reset the HUD and reload. And you'll see it reboot the HUD and load up the texture lists and the classes and the attachments, and then all of your new texture packs will be accessible as well. And you can see, if you go back, we can load up one of the custom metal texture groups. And that was one of the texture packs that were transferred by the automated scripts just now. Hopefully that'll make things as easy as possible from here on out. All of the 2.0 and later HUDs will come with those transfer scripts already installed, so all you'll need to do is drop a 2.0 or later HUD on the ground, res your new HUD next to it, tell your new HUD to go do the transfer, and all of it will be handled automatically. And then all you do is just pick up your new HUD again, wear it, and reboot your chim, and load your animation note card. If you've got new texture packs coming in, the same thing again, you just reload the HUD and you're all ready to go. The idea is to make it as easy as possible to continue using the HUD over the long haul and allow me to still add new features without it being an inconvenience to you every time there's an update. If you have any questions about any of this, please IM Galathir Darkstone in World. I'd be more than happy to reply. If for some reason I don't respond to your IM within 24 hours, send it again or send me a note card. I do have my IMs forwarded to email, so in general I get all of them whether I'm logged in or not, but on occasion if SL crashes they could get lost or misplaced. Thank you for your time. Stay sinful and have a great day.